Hi creative friends, this is Saraya and thank you so much for being here. So I am going to work on this, and I think that this is going to be the last of the series because I am pretty happy with the way this value map is going. Like the fabric, it doesn't look photorealistic. I was actually using a photo of a painting from a book of mine, and it's not exact because this composition is very different than the one I'm using, but I just used it to kind of suggest my fabric, and it's very helpful for me. So like if I had to go in here and add colors, like on the apples, on the fabric, etc., I am fairly confident that this value map would hold because it's a very solid foundation. But the reason why I'm working between, these two is because I was like showing you how I got from, like how I got to this point. Anyways, if you guys have been following along, then what I am doing. So I don't need to start off like from the, I'm just gonna move that there so I get more light from my window. And I'm gonna make sure I position this properly. So basically, even with this, like I don't need to add a ton of, colors and, collage or any of that stuff. Like even if I had to leave it like this, I'm actually quite happy with it. Like I really love it. And you guys, if you are working like this, not only is it a great teaching tool, but if you wanted to like say, like I would take the tape off and I could actually frame it and hang it up in my house, or you can gift it to somebody. It's just a beautiful piece of handmade art. And I think that so many people appreciate still lifes. It's just one of the, just a simple, beautiful reminder to me. Anyways, that's the way I look at still lifes. It's just a beautiful reminder of just to appreciate the simplicities of life. An apple, a bowl, fabric, light, shadow, so I think it would be a great gift for somebody, or just, hang it up in your home if you want. But it's a great learning tool, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the apple a little bit, and even with the bowl, like I'm really happy with it. I don't think I really need to do a whole bunch to it. But I do want to work on the apple, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of my ink here. And I just want a little bit because these inks this is my Ranger re-inkers, and they are very, very saturated. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put it on here because this is it's sitting back, so I don't want to add like too much to that. I'm going to leave that as it is actually, and I'm just going to add a little bit to this here. So the thing about colors, you guys, and I've talked about this before, is there are so many different colors in what you might like. I'm looking at this apple like, okay, it's a red apple, but there are so many different colors that go into the red apple. It's not like simply red. And the more colors you have in the correct values, it's actually just going to make it so much richer. And so I'm just using different, colors, and then I'm also just adding like, like a lighter color to my different colors. I'm sorry, let me say that again. So I'm using one color and I'm just adding like my cashew to make it, to lighten it up to the same color. So just gonna kind of like, and I want a little bit of like an orangey color. And what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna use like my dots again. And I know I used it earlier on, but I just feel like I want to use some dots here. So with the dots, you guys, what I'm experimenting with working in this way too, but you can like use the dots and then go in and use brush strokes and then use the dots, and then, you know, it's not like a oh, I use the dots and then it's done. It doesn't have to be that way. I mean, I guess you can use it any way you want. I'm still learning, honestly, but I love working in this way. It's just like it's like a push-pull, but with dots. So I put the dots on, I let it dry, I come back, I use brush strokes, and then I go back in and I put more dots, and it's just basically, you know, you're just going back and forth, and I'm just loving like working in this way. And some people may think this is tedious, but I don't know, you guys, to me it's just so relaxing, honestly. And the thing is, you guys, like even with value studies, like just say, let me see if I can pull this up here. So when you do like a 5-minute value study, like this is like a value study, but just think if you had to like, you know, cut it out and frame it, it would make a great gift to somebody. And I find that artists and non-artists alike, like they appreciate the handmade, just the thoughtfulness of a handmade gift. Now that, you know, it's kind of around Christmas time for those who celebrate, it's just such a beautiful gift, and people really appreciate it. And that took me like 5 minutes to do, you guys, but that would be a great gift. So I'm just kind of building that up. And that's another thing about these cheap paints, you guys, is like you can buy like a whole bunch of different colors, and you know, because they're so cheap, like I know for my Liquitex CAD Red Light, I mean, they're pretty expensive. Well, in the size that I buy, it's like 40 bucks. So for like one tube, now of course it's Liquitex, it's really good, it's gonna last me a long time. But you know, when you buy these cheap paints, they're like $1 each. So you can buy like a whole bunch of different colors, try them out, use them, you know. And I like these cheaper paints actually. They have their use. So see, you guys, I'm just kind of pushing and pulling here. I'm just like, and I'm even using my hand, my fingers, sorry, to like, another thing, you guys, is you can use a wet paper towel to get back like parts of the parts of your painting that you want. Like I covered this part up, and I just want to get it back because I mistakenly covered it up, and I don't want to do that. So see, I just used water You can do this when the paint is still wet, and you just get it back. And now I love that. And okay, now I'm not gonna like fuss too much with the apple because I can get kind of a bit obsessive and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna work on the fabric a little bit and then I'm gonna call it done, you guys. I'm gonna add some burnt sienna here to the fabric. So remember, you guys, when you're doing shadows, to make the movement like back and forth like so, because shadows lay flat. It really makes a difference because when you're depicting shapes, you're using the marks of your brush are like, say this apple is curving. Okay, say this apple is curving like so. So the brush strokes I'm going to use are going to be like that, because that is going to depict movement of the apple curving. But shadows are going to lay flat. So we make this movement. Okay. And I'm really loving this purple, you guys, for the shadows. It's really bringing the shadows to life. Let me see if I can find it. It's just this cheap apple barrel paint here. It's called Royal Violet. And you can pick it up like in a big box store like Walmart in the craft section. And it is like under $1, you guys. It's craziness. But I'm really loving it. Like, it really brings the shadows to life here. Like, look at that. And I'm going to put some of the shadows in the apple. And when you use colors like that, you guys, like I'm bringing it from the shadow into the apple, and you can also do the same. Like, you can bring colors from the apple into the fabric. It really brightens up your shadows. It gives it life, and it also gives it a sense of cohesion. It's kind of like when I'm doing my art journals, even if it's abstract or whatever it is, and I go, hey, I want to repeat everything at least 3 times. It's a similar kind of a thing. Like, you want repetition to move the eye around and to, like, you know, provide a cohesive kind of a painting. And I'm gonna like, let me see, I'm gonna put some of this in the on the bowl, actually, the shadows of the bowl here. So do you see, you guys? I'm just like giving it some dimension. It doesn't matter so much the colors I'm using, because the values, you know, the values are already there from my value map. So if I follow the values, it's actually, you know, it's not that difficult now to add the colors. So I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys, and I'm gonna call it like done. You know, I could work on this and work on this and overwork it, and I kind of want to have that kind of looser approach to it, and I'm really happy with it. I learned a lot. And I really am loving the using the dots of color. It's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so you know, this is just painter's tape. So I'm just gonna remove it. Uh-oh, you guys, maybe this is not painter's tape, actually. Maybe this is not painter's tape, you guys. I don't know. But painter's tape should come off easily, and this is kind of, yeah, maybe it's not painter's tape. But anyways, it doesn't matter because, you know, this is just like a learning exercise. But anyways, you guys, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you, those are that are following along, I hope that, you know, you work this way. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.